is going to be a heavyweight bout, an 8-round fight, and it's going to be between Bruce Seldon and Tommy Sandner. An 8-round bout. There is Bruce Seldon. He's an Atlantic City native, born and raised here, the first Atlantic City native getting a network appearance in the boxing ranks. And he is undefeated, a 13-0 record with 10 knockouts. He'll be opposed today by Tommy Sandner, now a man who doesn't have the ring experience, born in Schweinfurt, West Germany, an Army brat, now lives in Ocala, Florida. Tommy Sandner undefeated as well with a 9-0 record and 8 KOs. Alex, quickly, we get ready to go into this fight right here. What can we look for between these two?
Well, I think a couple of keys, Dan. First of all, Bruce Seldon, they both are very big men. Bruce Seldon big, but exceptionally quick for a man his size. Very, very, very good jab. Tommy Sandner, on the other hand, not as quick, very short arms, must get inside to be effective. The key for him, I think, is don't freeze up and hope that he can get Seldon into a slugfest and take advantage of his strength.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. The one thing that sticks out here, you'll see Bruce Seldon is nearly 4 inches taller than Tommy Sandner, and of course the reach goes along accordingly. The rules today are the New Jersey version. Scoring is on the 10-point must system. The 3-knockdown rule is in effect. So is the standing 8. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and the ring doctor can indeed stop the fight. Rafael Ramos is our referee here this afternoon. Our 3 scoring judges, Frank Brunette, Rocky Castellani, and Gene Williams. So we're ready to begin.
Schlitz Malt Liquor Professional Boxing. Brought to you by Schlitz Malt Liquor. No one does it like the Bull. And by Kawasaki Motors Corporation, USA. Kawasaki, the good times company.
So we're beginning, and there it is, round number 1, an 8-rounder. In the heavyweight division, Bruce Seldon immediately opens up with a jab, and he likes to throw that jab, Alex.
And Tommy Sandner, only 68-inch arms we saw on the tail of the tape, must find a way to make Bruce miss with that jab, get inside, work to the body and up to the head. A couple of fine trainers working with each of these men. Bruce Seldon on the left has Carmen Graziano in his corner. Carmen's developed an awful lot of good big men with good jabs. Tommy Sandner has Kevin Rooney in his corner. Trained with Kevin 7 weeks up at that Catskill gym where Kevin contributed to the development of Mike Tyson. He said when Tommy first got up there, he didn't think Tommy would have much of a chance. But in the last 3 weeks, Tommy Sandner has been more elusive, and Kevin says he's seen that natural toughness that could give him a real good shot here.
Well, Sandner has a lot of athletic ability of his own, an all-state fullback and nose tackle in Ocala High School, but still vastly outclassed in terms of ring experience when it comes to Bruce Seldon. Bruce Seldon, a tremendous physique, maybe the best heavyweight build in the entire division, and a quick jab, and it's going to be, I think, Sandner's job today, Alex. Stay out of the way of that jab. It can take him apart. Oh, a good overhead chopping right by Bruce Seldon.
Right, that's what Carmen Graziano's trying to do. It's one thing to have a good jab, but you got to put something behind it. So far, Tommy's worked his way in a couple of times, but he just does not let his hands go. Tommy Sandner in the black trunks looked very tight, does Dan, even when we were talking to him yesterday and earlier today. Big opportunity for him. He's got to be able to find a way to relax to be effective.
A tremendous opportunity here on network television. Bruce Seldon has appeared on ESPN before, so at least maybe he's gotten some of the jitters out of the way and being in a televised bout.
Actually, we saw Bruce Seldon on the undercard of that big crowd for the Foreman Cooney fight here in January, so he's been at least around the big show more than Tommy Sandner has. 40 seconds left here in the first round. Some redness on the forehead of Tommy Sandner. Again, Tommy worked his way in perhaps the punching range, but did not let his hands go.
Again, it's been the jab of Bruce Seldon that has scored more than any other punch. There's a good right hand by Tommy Sandner. His attempt at an uppercut misses.
And one thing Bruce Seldon doesn't want to do is just lay on the ropes like that and let Tommy Sandner have free shots.
Clearly, this is where the shorter Sandner would like to be. To be inside, to be at close range inside that jab of Seldon. The final seconds of the first. Here we are in the beginning seconds of round number 2 at the Convention Center in Atlantic City. Bruce Seldon in the white trunks, Tommy Sandner wearing the black. A good first round by Bruce Seldon. It saw him spend about 30 seconds on the ropes, but still should have been enough to carry it. A good jab, a good stiff jab by Bruce Seldon.
Kevin Rooney in Tommy Sandner's corner told him let the right hand go to the body and be busier, and he did both things there in the first 30 seconds of the second round. Right away, you saw him back him up there. Tommy Sandner, you saw the strength there. Seldon blocked the punch, but he still moved back across the ring when it landed.
That combination right there by Sandner hit glove, and you saw the uppercut by Seldon rock the head back of Sandner. Boy, there's a vicious right by Sandner that Seldon would be well advised to stay out of the way. There is Kevin Rooney, Tommy Sandner's trainer, of course, the former trainer of the heavyweight champion of the world at the time, Mike Tyson.
Again, Sandner pinning Bruce Seldon on the ropes, but not really getting a lot done.
Seldon intentionally covering up. He's not hurt. Just letting Sandner go ahead and take some shots and blocking them with the arms.
He's not hurt, but that speaks to the point about what Bruce Seldon's problems are. Unable to sustain a pace to control the fight. He takes portions of almost every round off, Dan. Shows flashes of brilliance, but just to this date has not been able to sustain it.
There's a good combination by Seldon, the best of the fight so far. And now Bruce Seldon really putting it on. Tommy Sandner, you talked about earlier about a veteran of the tough man contest. You would have to think that unless he walks into a colossal shot, it's not going to be very easy to take out. Seldon, even with that tremendous physique, Alex, is not a real crushing puncher.
That's right. He has not been to date. His trainer, Carmen Graziano, feels that if he can put punches in combination with that strong jab that he's shown us, as he did earlier in this round, he could develop into a puncher. He is not muscle-bound the way some guys with a physique like his are. And you can see that from the kind of speed he gets off his punches with. There was a moment right there when you saw Tommy Sandner coming forward that, again, Bruce Seldon looked a little bit tired. Sandner did score a punch.
Good counter-punching that time by Bruce Seldon inside the final 10 seconds of the second round. And Seldon closing with a flurry. Tommy Sandner and stopped the fight. Just about 15 seconds ago, this doctor said, that's it, I'm stopping it. And Tommy Sandner does not look like he has anything wrong with him to stop the fight. I know he was bleeding from his mouth, Alex, when he went to the corner after the end of the second round, and we're awaiting word as to exactly why the fight was stopped.
Yeah, I didn't see a big protest from Kevin Rooney in the corner when that decision was made, so it may be that the corner decided he'd had enough.
Well, Bruce Seldon now moves to 14-0 with 11 KOs.
I get it.
Let's go back, if we could, and watch some of the action in the second round. Again, a reminder, it was stopped in between rounds by the doctor in attendance. That left of Seldon finding a home the entire fight.
I mean, Seldon had a very big second round, might even have been a 10-8 round, but you couldn't really say he ever had Tommy Sandner hurt or in danger of going down. Scored a lot of punches. You see here, Sandner just coming back with nothing, trying to cover up.
We are now being told that Tommy Sandner did not want to continue, that it was his call, that he elected to retire between rounds. And so it was not the doctor. I stand corrected. It was Tommy Sandner himself who tosses in the towel between the second and the third round. And
proving once again, Dan, there's a big difference between tough man contests and boxing.
Well, it certainly explains why we could not find anything wrong. And there's a replay. You see Ramos going over and telling Seldon that the fight was over. Rafael Ramos, the referee, and Bruce Seldon hardly believing that the fight is over.
And I knew right away when Kevin Rooney didn't explode, I knew the doctor couldn't have too much
Well,
to do with it.
when Tommy Sandner here, Alex, just tosses it in after the second round, may be a very long time before we see him, before we see Tommy Sandner again. Between the second and third. We are back at the Convention Center here in Atlantic City, and right now Alex Swallow is ringside with our winner, Bruce Seldon.
Bruce, congratulations to you first. Were you surprised that he stopped the fight himself in the corner between rounds?
I was very surprised. Tapes that I have at the house is like he's a very durable fighter. He went, he and myself went the distance with a guy in Miami, Daniel Woodford,
Right.
and I just knew that I had a fight lined up for me tonight. But he's a very competitive fighter. He's a very competitive fighter.
What was your reaction to your overall performance, Bruce?
My overall performance was to go out and throw combinations. He's a one-punch fighter. He's used to one-punch fighters. He's not used to a boxer-puncher. I thought if I go out and throw more combinations at him, eventually he would cut down.
You showed the difference in rounds 1 and 2. Round 1, you landed the jab effectively, but in round 2, you put things behind the jab. You put things with the jab, and it seemed like that's why you were so much more effective in round 2. Do you feel that that's the key to your getting to be a world-class heavyweight, putting punches behind that jab?
Yes, it is, very much. Punches behind the jab. But one thing I was looking at was that the first round, I hit him with the jab, and I kind of opened him up a little bit with a jab. So I figured if I work on that jab, if I slow him up with the jab and throw more combinations, I will open that cut up even more, and eventually they would have either I would have knocked him out or they would have had to stop the fight.
Bruce, let's get a quick word from Carmen Graziano, your trainer. Carmen, your reaction to Bruce's performance?
Very impressed. He threw combinations. As I told you, I think he's a great athlete. He's got mobility. He's got one of the great bodies in boxing. And although he's massive, he's extremely quick, very deceptive.
Do you have any kind of a timetable when you think you'll be ready to challenge for a heavyweight title?
In a year and a half.
Congratulations, Carmen. Congratulations, Bruce. Thanks very much. Let's go back to Dan Deardorff.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank